Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconiana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we are going to take one last look at our vintage FIREFLY Flick semi-automatic aluminum block petrol lighter. This is a really cool old lighter that was made in New York by General Research Company. We have had several combinations of Flint. We have fueled this lighter, and we're just going to take a look at it one more time and hopefully come up to a final conclusion of whether or not this lighter is a dependable, reliable way to light up your smoke. I've talked a lot about this lighter in this series of videos, and I'm really fond of it. As we strike it, you can see that it still has fuel in it, but waning somewhat. It's been several days since we filled that last week to make those videos. Been almost a week since we fueled it up. So I believe this held about 4 droppers to begin with. The plan at the moment is going to be to add 2. I am not trying to throw this lighter into vapor lock. It lit there on the second turn of the wheel in this video. But like I said, it's obviously waning. The flame was not all that strong. I don't remember. I think we have the Dunhill Blue Flint back in here, but I am not positive about that. It's a really nifty lighter, the way that the file wheel is integrated in with the snuffer lid, so that when you raise the lid, the lighter ignites. When you lower the snuffer, then it goes out. That is what makes it a semi-automatic lighter rather than a fully automatic. Semi-automatic opens and ignites at the same time while needing to be closed in a separate operation, where a fully automatic would ignite and open, and then when you released it, it would also snuff it automatically, therefore being fully automatic. Take a look here at the Flint situation that we have here now. Here you can see the 4, well, that light was dead on me. There you can see the 4 generic red Flints from eBay, courtesy of our buddy Robert Hollingsworth. And the fact that we have got the 4 red Flints back in there tells me that it is our Dunhill Blue that was in the Flint tube. So what we have learned about this lighter is that with a Dunhill Blue Flint, it is reliable. It is dependable. And when I talk about the Dunhill Blue Flint, I am talking about the older, darker blue coated Dunhill Blue Flints. The newer ones that are a lighter, brighter color do not seem to provide the same shower of sparks that the older ones did. I believe that the newer ones are an inferior product to the old ones. Seem to be very hard to come by these days. So we've got a Dunhill Blue Flint in here, which it works great with. For those of you who are familiar with the practice of placing an extra flint in the tube to provide extra tension, if you put 2 of those generic red Flints in the tube, it seems to work just as well as with one Dunhill Blue. So this lighter would function for you that way. We also used a clipper flint in here, and it was inferior also until we backed it up with a red. So it appears that 2 Flints can make this lighter operate fairly reliably, dependably. It's just a matter of whether you want to consider having 2 Flints in the lighter to be dependable in the way that it should be working. But anyway around it, the old Dunhill blue Flints work exceptionally well, and in this lighter have made it usable for sure, where with the single reds it was just hit and miss. It does appear that if you overfill this lighter, and it appears that it is relatively prone to overfilling and vapor lock, that you can suffer from vapor lock for a prolonged period of time compared to some lighters. But all in all, you can see we just filled it a moment ago. We just topped it off with a couple of drops, and trying not to just ignite it left and right here and let vapor evaporate off of that wick. Trying to show you a relatively representative example of how this lighter functions. And there's just not much not to like about it. You've got the cutout windscreen from side to side. It is not a windscreen in the front. Those are just cuts in the aluminum material of the lighter. But it does add to the aesthetic appeal of the lighter. Aluminum block Petrol lighters are some of the most collectible lighters out there, and a person could definitely form an entire collection just by collecting these lighters alone. Really cool, and it's awesome, especially when you can get one that functions as it should. We've replaced the wick in this lighter, new wadding. Tried just about every Flint combination we had, and have learned that it works great with Dunhill blues. It'll work well with 2 Flints, it appears, of just about any kind for added tension, with the extra caveat that you may need to let this lighter set aside for a few hours or maybe even a day after refilling it to allow the vapor lock to subside. Until next time.